This is Mike with On Point Preparedness. I wanted to throw together a quick video for you. I've actually covered this topic 2 times in the recent past on my channel, the last one being on January 26th, but I have to talk about it again because it's happening more and it's getting very crazy, very creepy. What I'm referring to is this global phenomenon, this mysterious phenomenon of significant water recession away from our beaches literally overnight. More than just your low tide. We're talking about water receding quarter of a mile to half a mile out. Something that has freaked out locals because they thought a tsunami was coming. That's how much water recession we're talking about. Just a sneak peek at what I'm going to discuss in this video. Look at this. 17 hours ago, Venice canals now dry up. They're saying that it's because of the super blue blood moon, and I do not buy that at all. I'll tell you why. But check out these photos. Again, the beautiful and historic Venice canals with boats essentially shipwrecked on the bottom of the canals. Absolutely incredible. Just showing you some of these photos here. The side waterways are definitely dry. The only ones that still have water are the main ones. Pretty crazy stuff. And then the second one, which hasn't been well reported, you'll only find this in local news agencies or some Mexican news agencies, but a beach in Mexico also on February 1st had significant water recession. So just take a look at this photo. That's the beach. That nice white sandy thing right there, that's the beach. And this individual is a good quarter of a mile out or more. In fact, he has a video published at the bottom of this article, and I will put all the links in the YouTube description box, but there's people even further out than him. I mean, you can see him way out there. And so as he pans around, you can literally see how much water is just gone. Imagine you're one of these people vacationing, and you're at the beach one day, you go back in the morning, and oh, look at that, it's not there. Well, that's strange. And if you look at a lot of these local news agencies that are reporting about this, and they interview locals, again, not mainstream media outlets, but they're actually going out and talking to people locally. There's folks that are 60, 70 years old, and they're saying, yeah, never seen this before in my life. This is pretty strange. So I do not buy all the various explanations that the mainstream media is giving us on this. So referring back to this video, published it on January 26th, I talked about the first time this was really documented significantly, and that was around Hurricane Irma. We all know that the water literally got sucked away from the beaches of Florida and the East Coast, and I can buy this. I can buy that the hurricane was so strong. It was one of the strongest hurricanes we've ever had. I don't know, maybe it was the strongest, but I can buy that as an explanation. But then what I can't buy is immediately after that, we started to see this happen in beaches across the world, and I covered it in this video. We're talking about beaches in Brazil and Uruguay and India. Here's some of the articles that I covered in that video. Again, same phenomenon. Quarter of a mile to half a mile stretch of beach just dried up. Tsunami-like conditions, freaking locals out. And in every one of these articles, there's a variety of explanations from experts. I think for these ones that happened in Uruguay and Brazil, they came up with a new term that no one had ever heard of before. They're saying, oh, well, this is, it's not low tide, it's dry tide. Yeah, that happens every, I don't know, 20 years or so. And again, you just refer to it's anecdotal, but you refer to the locals who are just honest people just talking about their life experiences, and they're saying, yeah, I've been on this earth for 60, 70 years, never saw that, sorry. So I don't buy what they're telling us here. Same thing here, just it seems to be happening all across the world. Just very, very, very strange. Anywho, going back to this article about the Venice canals, they're saying that this is because of the super blue blood moon. Now, this term, I know a lot of things happened this month and the occultists were raving about this day, but in terms of the moon affecting the tide, I want to break down this term because it sounds fancy and jazzy and all that, and if you're reading this article, you're like, oh yeah, well, of course the canals dried up because of a super blue blood moon. Okay, so the blood moon, the color of the moon, because of the Earth's atmosphere and the moon, that's not going to have any effect on the tide. Okay, the term blue moon, all that means is it's the second full moon of the month. So I don't see how that in any individual incident is going to make it more powerful on the tides. I don't buy that. The only thing that's going to impact the tides more is the fact that it was called a supermoon. But if you look at timeanddate.com, they said that the full moon on January 31st, 2018 was almost a supermoon. So whatever criteria they're using in terms of the moon's proximity to the Earth, it didn't even meet that. So this isn't even like the record distance or the closest the moon has ever been to the Earth. And supermoons are not a rare occurrence. I mean, they don't have all the different dates in the past on which this has happened, but you can see 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, 2020. This is happening, you know, yearly or every other year, and we're not seeing things like this. We're not seeing this every year. Again, locals, 60 to 70-year-old elders saying, I've never seen this in my lifetime. And we have definitely had more supermoons than these things happening. And so when you've got these flashy headlines saying the super blue blood moon, I don't buy it. And with Irma, okay, I could probably see Hurricane Irma being the reason why the water was drawn away from the beaches, but that does not explain this trend. And actually the trend is what really makes me question whether Irma was the reason here as well. I give you a little bit of a hypothesis in this prior video. Again, all the links will be in the YouTube description box if you're a new subscriber or you haven't really researched this phenomenon. But we know that the Earth is changing dramatically. I mean, we're having significant intensity earthquakes, more than we have had in the past. I put articles in here showing that, yeah, volcanic activity and earthquake activity has been increasing. And it's been a documented fact that lakes have been drained because of earthquakes. Rivers have been drained because of earthquakes. Even water wells have been drained by earthquakes. In fact, the weather.com reporters have said that water well levels changed because of that 7.9 magnitude earthquake near Alaska. And so we know earthquakes can cause tsunamis, pulling water away and pushing water back. But with all these other incidents of drainages of lakes, because literally an earthquake put a crack in the lake floor, I can see this also being maybe part of the reason why we're seeing this significant drop in water levels across all these beaches. It may be because a lot of these earthquakes are literally putting huge cavernous cracks in the sea floor and draining water away, and it's going to take time for that water level to come back. At least that's one theory. I don't know if that's absolute proof, but I'll tell you what, I'm not buying these one-off incidents that the mainstream media is giving us because it's not holding up. Hurricane, for instance, we're not seeing hurricane after hurricane after hurricane in every single one of these incidents, nor are we seeing super blue blood moon over and over and over in Uruguay and Brazil and India and Mexico and Rome. It just does not add up. So again, I've only proposed a theory, but more so I just want to make you aware of it. I'm very interested in the comment section to see what people are thinking about this, because the Earth is changing. We've got so many different things going on. I don't know if you all recall about the magnetic poles shifting. Some people are talking about that, whether that's a reason for, again, the extreme cold and extreme heat that we've been having, as well as a potential reason for why we're having these phenomenons happen with the water levels. Weather warfare, that's another big topic that people are talking about. Just interested in fresh perspectives. So go ahead, leave me a comment in the comment section, and maybe I'll get back to y'all. This is Mike with On Point Preparedness. Hope you have a good weekend. See ya.